What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Niggas, it is your boy MoonMonkey coming at you with another episode of In the Lab, and today we're gonna be doing a little bit of dog training. We about to take y'all niggas to Animal Planet, some Yukonuba dog training right now. So let's actually go to my tag real quick and let's head off to that duck hunt stage, baby. We about to get it in. We about to do some dog training. So let's get it popping with my boy, the Duck Hunt Dog. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about Duck Hunt Dog's running capabilities and his weight class. So Duck Hunt Dog, I believe he is the 23rd fastest character in the game. And I believe that's just right behind Rosalina. So he's the 23rd fastest character in the game. And I believe Duck Hunt Dog is tied with Palutena for the, the 32nd, 31st heaviest character in the game. So he definitely has a little bit of heft to him when compared to other characters on the roster. So yeah, he has a little bit of longevity on the field. He's definitely going to want to be like that because this nigga is definitely going to have to be struggling to stay alive a little longer than most people. So yeah, so that's Duck Hunt Dog. He's pretty fast and he has a little bit of heft to him, so that's really nice. Definitely think he has some good qualities right there. He has the ability to crawl, which is really nice. His profile isn't really lowered that much, but being able to crawl will help against dealing with characters that like to kind of throw projectiles here and there. So definitely want to utilize this. And let's see if Duck Hunt Dog has a wall jump. Yes, he does. So Duck Hunt Dog indeed has a wall jump. So you definitely want to make use of that. So to wall jump, all you got to do is while you're against the wall, just flick your controller in the opposite direction, and you just pull it off right there. So let's see. There you go. So all you gotta do is flick your controller in the opposite direction when doing it, and you should be good. So yeah. So that's pretty much Duck Hunt Dog when it comes to his basic maneuvers on the stage. Let's actually talk about his jumping capabilities. Excuse me. So let's get this nigga Mario to jump, and let's see how my good Duck Hunt Dog does. So let's see, jump at the same time. So yeah, it looks like they're both tied when it comes to jumping. So that's really nice. Double jump. Duck Hunt Dog goes pretty basic high. I mean, I think he's pretty much tied with Mario, Wii Fit Trainer, characters like Luigi. They have like that same kind of like initial jump and then second jump capability, so that's really nice right there. And as you can see, Duck Hunt Dog has a little bit of loft to him, so let's see if you jump at the same time Mario does. Well, no, actually I think they're pretty much tied. You just gotta time it up properly, so forget what the fuck I was talking about. So let's actually set Mario right down to stop. There we go, and let's actually just crawl real quick, just to go slow enough to drag Mario along, and let's actually start off with these basic jabs. So, first initial jab does a nice 2%, second jab does a nice another 2%, so that's a nice combined damage of 5 damage. Hold on, that don't sound right. Jab, jab. Yeah, looks like it has 2%. There might be a little something wrong. We're just gonna look at the percent that Mario's gaining. But yeah, it's doing somewhere along 3% and then 2% on another hit, so that's really nice right there. And then let's actually talk about that final hit, jab, 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 and that final hit does a nice 4% to do a 9% in total. So it looks like jab, jab, jab. That's a nice combined total of 9%. That's really nice. And then if you actually hold the jab, 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 you actually go into a jabbing state, and you could do anywhere. You could do pretty much a lot of damage depending on where your opponent is while you're jabbing. So if you start seeing your opponent start to DI out of you, that's when you want to start releasing your jab. Just kind of like let go. But it does a nice percent, and I think the final hit actually pops them up a little slightly vertical and a little bit to the left a little bit. So I mean, it's fine as it is, I think. So that's really nice. Not bad, not bad. Now let's get into the dash attack. Dash attack is a nice 10%. Now I wonder if it might be a little weaker towards the end of the dash. So let's see. I don't know if we're gonna do 10% all around. Let's see. Wait for Mario to bring his ass back on stage. Wait for the nigga. Wait for the nigga. So let's actually crawl a little bit just to drag Mario a little closer. All right, let's try to hit Mario near the edge of the dash. So yeah, it looks like he slides quite a bit. So let's see. I want to start dashing right here. Yep. All right, get a little closer. There we go. Yeah, so it looks like it does 10% all around. And let's try to run up and hit him initial impact. Yeah, so it's 10% all around. You don't have much to worry about when throwing out that dash attack. Down tilt does a nice 8%. Up tilt does a nice 7%. And forward tilt does a nice 8% as well. So down tilt, forward tilt, really nice poking moves. Definitely like these moves, especially when you start implementing pivot attacks. In order to do pivot attacks, you just got to run in one direction and then slowly just bring your control stick the other direction while holding A. So that's the best way to do pivot attacks. That's the way how I know how to do it. That's really nice right there. Let's actually get into Duck Hunt Dog's grab. So let's reset Mario back to 0. Grab Mario. One pummel does a nice 3%, really nice right there. I think Duck Hunt Dog and Wii Fit Trainer, well, it looks like it kind of varies from anywhere from 3 to 2%. So really nice right there. I guess it's just randomizing how much damage he does, but you definitely want to make use of that. Let's actually start getting to his throws. Up throw, really nice. Send Mario right up. Nice 6% right there. Down throw does a nice 5%. Really nice for setups. You can either follow up with a a neutral air, a forward air, or he can kind of read out an air dodge and follow up with another attack. So that's really nice. Back throw does a nice 9%, so it looks like his back throw might have the most power. Yeah, it looks like it has the most power. And let's see Duck Hunt Dog's forward throw, 8%. Yeah, as you saw before. So that's really nice. So that's pretty much Duck Hunt Dog's grab range. Let's see when he starts grabbing. I think, yeah. There we go. So yeah, his grab range isn't that bad as per se like a Ganondorf or Wii Fit trainer. He doesn't really struggle with grabbing. I mean, he's moderately good at grabbing, so you're most likely going to be able to grab your opponent on most often or not when trying to go for grabs. Let's try to get a pivot grab going on. There we go. Range is definitely increased when doing pivot grabs. And to do a pivot grab, it's pretty much the same concept when doing pivot tilt, except that you're pressing Z and clicking your controller in the opposite direction at the same damn time. At the same damn time. If you mess it up, you're probably gonna do a pivot tilt, but in order to do it right, you gotta just kind of throw it at the right time. There we go. And it's really a nice way to kind of get your back to the stage. Seeing how Duck Hunt Dog's back air is the best, you don't really want to grab Mario facing the stage and throw him that way. What you probably want to do is try to run past him, do a pivot grab, then throw him for a back throw, just to get your most out of your back throw. Really nice for a nigga like Ness, whose back throw is like more lethal. So you most likely would want to do like a pivot grab to do that type of shit. So yeah, that's pretty much all Duck Hunt Dog's grabs. So let's get into this nigga's aerial. So let's set my boy Mario to jump right quick. There we go. And let's actually start off with Duck Hunt Dog's neutral air. Now, Duck Hunt Dog's neutral air has two different types of hits. It has a sweet spot, and it has a soft hit. And pretty much what a soft hit is pretty much after you pretty much initiate your attack and then hit your opponent, then you're going to probably nick them out with like a little lighter hit than you would if you actually start off with the initial impact. So as you can see right there, the sweet spot, as I'm calling it, does a nice 11%. But if I actually activate my neutral air and hit Mario, I'm going to do 5%. So you definitely want to be mindful of stuff like that. There's definitely places in time where you want to do a soft hit and times you want to hit a sweet spot. Sweet spots are pretty much good for when you want to try to go for kill moves, and soft hits are pretty much times you want to do like a short nick out and then probably follow up with another attack if you're able to get your opponent in such a situation. So there's different situations for that neutral air. Definitely a useful move to have for Duck Hunt Dog. Then we got Duck Hunt Dog's forward air, which I think does more damage near the tip of the duck's beak. So I think near the base is going to do 6%, 6%, and I think near the middle of the beak is going to probably do 7% or something like that, and I think near the tip of the beak is going to do 10%, so that's really nice. And I think the back air is going to be the same way, so 10% right there, and I think it's going to do 12% near the tip of the beak, so let's see. Let's wait for Mario to bring his ass back to the stage. Let's actually reset him back real quick. There we go, and let's have it actually space it out though. Space it out. Hit with the back air. Hold up. There we go. As you can see right there, that nice 12%. So yeah, tip of the beak, you're going to do a lot more percent than you would if you're hitting with the ass cheek of Duck Hunt Dog. So keep all that good shit in mind. Duck Hunt Dog also has a nice spike. It's a two-part hitting spike if you're able to connect both hits. First initial hit is like the dog actually hits you, then the duck swoops down and hits you with the spike. If you actually hit with the dog and duck, you're going to do a nice 15%. Or if you just hit with the straight duck up, oh, the nice duck, you're going to hit with a nice 10%. So you definitely want to kind of space it out. And that kind of also just plays in the whole play style of Duck Hunt Dog. You never really want to be all up in your opponent. You definitely want to just be at a reasonable distance to actually lay on the damage. So let's see. I want to try to jump on top of Mario. There we go. So hold up. There we go. So right with the duck, you're going to hit a nice spiking projectile right there. So that's really nice. Now we got Duck Hunt Dog's up air, which is a really nice aerial. Actually, I think this is my favorite aerial move for Duck Hunt Dog. Really nice way to kill your opponent. Any way you're gonna probably kill your opponent is definitely gonna be because of this up air. And I think on a stage like at a stage like Duck Hunt Dog, this move might be able to kill around like 145, as you saw right there. So really nice move right there. Let's actually start seeing when the aerials will start killing. So pretty much the back air and forward air is back air, forward air, and up air is going to be like the percent that you want to worry about racking up percent for it. The down air, you probably only want to start worrying about that killing around like 80% because you're going to be able to have enough momentum behind the spike to send your opponent rocketing down, as you see right there. So you definitely don't have to worry about your down air as much as you have to worry about your forward air and your back air. So it looks like your forward air, let's see. Yeah, as you can see right there, I hit a nice 7% towards like the tip of it. I think that might be like a soft hitting forward air. So let's see. I want to hit Mario. Hold up. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it lingers long enough for you to actually do a soft hit, but we're gonna start seeing when this forward air starts hitting. So 6%. You don't want to hit where 6%. You want to hit where that beak is. So hold up, Mario. Where you going? So hit him right there. I want to wait for Mario to double jump. I hate no double jump. All right. So let's see if we can hit him off. Let's see. Back forward air. Yeah, doesn't look like the forward air has much killing power. Let's see. Yeah, forward air is pretty much what you want to do. Just kind of like, you probably want to chase off stage and do like another forward air. Hold up. So we'll do forward air right there. Wait for Mario to jump. All right, not going to jump. He's going to up B. So I'm going to try to do it again. All right, that's definitely. Yeah, so you have to get to a nigga to a 208% just to kill somebody. Probably like around 90%. 208% was like the resulting hit. But let's see. When you want to kill somebody with the forward air, you definitely want to try to follow with like another like forward air. Back air might be a little different. I think back air might be a little stronger. Yup, back air being a lot more easier to kill with around like, what was that, 40%? 42%? So let's see, 40% right there. Wait for Mario to jump right here. Back air, yup. So yeah, round 140 is definitely gonna be a good move. So back air is definitely gonna be a more reliable kill move than the forward air. Forward air is just more so just a pressuring move unless you want to go off deep stage and throw out like multiple forward airs to pressure your opponent. That's good right there. And then we got Duck Hunt Dogs up air, which I just mentioned before is my favorite of his aerials. So back air and up air is just definitely gonna be where it's at. Next up, we got Duck Hunt Dogs smash attacks. Now, with this smash attacks, I'm actually going to do my smash attacks away from Mario real quick so we can take note of how it's hitting. So, we're going to go right back to fuck down to 0 real quick. There we go. And we're going to start off with Mario. Let's stop Mario real quick. There we go. And let's start off with forward smash. So as you can see, forward smash, bop, bop, bop. Nice 3-part hitting attack that goes right in front of Duck Hunt Dog. Down smash actually starts in front of Duck Hunt Dog, then behind him, and then in front of him again. So that's really cool right there. Then we got his up smash, which starts in front of him, behind him, and then above him. So you definitely want to be mindful of where those reticles are actually being placed. So if I do my up smash, it's going to actually miss Mario for that first initial hit and hit him with those other 2 hits. But what I want to do, for most all intents and purposes, I want to do my up smash facing Mario so I can hit him with the most of it. So do a nice 14% altogether. Forward smash is going to do a nice 17% altogether when you hit him with all the hits. And I believe down smashes, I think you're going to hit in front of Mario. So you want to make sure you are facing him, then hit a down smash. And keep in mind, Mario is being, the last hit is actually throwing Mario behind Duck Hunt Dog. So you always want to probably do your down smash facing the back of the stage. That way your opponent will actually be launched towards the blast zone. If you're going to face behind it, you're going to probably just send them right towards the middle of the stage, which you don't really want to do. So you got to be mindful of Duck Hunt Dog smash attacks. But the good thing about it, they're disjointed, so you're able to be like at the edge of the stage and throw out those smash attacks to kind of gimp out your opponent. So that's really cool right there. So yeah, that's pretty much all of Duck Hunt Dog smash attacks. So we might as well just jump right into his specials right now. So let's start off with this can. I like to call this a Chef Boyardee. Pretty much you just tap B, play little Flappy Birds. The more you tap B, the higher the can goes. You can definitely time it out. Anyone who's familiar with the Donkey Kong games, that barrel, that whole rocket barrel, you'll know pretty much how to handle the can, kind of just like levitate it. It just takes a whole bunch of balancing. The can by itself does a nice, let's see, hit Mario with it. Nice 11%. I don't know if it differs, so let's continue just throwing this can at Mario. There we go, so 9% right there. That's interesting. Yeah, so 10%. So it looks like it might do anywhere from like 9 to 11%. It looks like it's doing 10% right there. I know when you initiate the can, yeah, it looks like if you actually initiate the can right on top of somebody and then get them to blow up, you're gonna do a lot more damage. So that's really cool. Also, how many hits you get for this? So let's see. Go out the can. All right, so right there, that's 1, I guess. You could call that 1. Then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so looks like you got 9, probably 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so yeah, probably like around 9. Yeah, 9 bounces before the can starts to be on an explosion. And also keep in mind, if your opponent hits it, so let's actually get Mario to attack real quick. And I'm gonna throw out this can. Hopefully Mario will do something. All right, I guess he's gonna take the hit. All right, I'm throwing a can. Nope. All right, he's gonna want to throw the can lightly. Wait for this nigga Mario to hit it. There we go. Now the can is actually Mario's hitbox. So if I do it right there, the can's gonna hit me. Well, if the can's about to explode, it's gonna hit either one of Mario or Duck Hunt Dog. But if your opponent hits it, it's actually gonna become their hitbox. So once they hit, you gotta be on the run until you hit it again before it becomes your hitbox. So if I activate it, Duck Hunt Dog is definitely gonna take a lot more damage. So let's actually reset Mario back down to stop. Now let's talk about Duck Hunt Dog's other specials. So let's talk about his side special. Side special is the Frisbee. Really nice two-part hitting side special. So first one you're throwing out the Frisbee, and then your second one is actually activating the reticle to actually attack the Frisbee. So you kind of set up some lobs. You don't necessarily have to constantly just press B, but you actually just want to kind of throw that Frisbee, lob it, then go for the side B. You don't want to initially just press B right after because you're not gonna get that much out of the Frisbee. So That's pretty cool. I mean, if you're able to lob the Frisbee nice enough, you're able to kind of do a little nice edge guarding with it. So Frisbee on the way down, able to kind of just like have a nice hitbox just to rain down your opponent. So that's really nice. So you can do a lot of like nice edge guarding with that that Frisbee as well. So if you see your opponent dropping low, throw that Frisbee, wait for the Frisbee to make its way down, and then throw out that side special. Really nice move. Give you a lot of control. Once you're able to throw up the get a hang of like the trajectory of it and how far you need to actually nail your opponent, that Frisbee can definitely be a really nice way to rack in 2%. And that could also be a good way to follow up with other attacks after throwing it as well. So that's really nice. Then we got Duck Hunt Dog. Up special is really nice. Has no hitboxes. Only really good way just to actually just recover back to the stage. So you're very vulnerable with throwing it out. Very vulnerable. I don't even know if that's the proper way to say it. You are vulnerable. We'll just say it like that. You're vulnerable when throwing it out. So you definitely want to kind of be very tricky how you make it back to the stage. Because if you just come back predictable, you're pretty much just asking to get forward smash, spike, or any other way just to get your ass rocked. So gotta be careful of all that. Then let's actually reset Mario back down to 0. Then we got one more of his special attacks, which is his down special. Now his down special varies between who he summons out. So that guy with the brown coat, the nigga, the pimp, does 6%. This guy with the shotgun does a nice 7%. Then we got the sheriff who does a nice 5%. So the nigga with the shotgun, we also got this guy who does 4%. So I think he does the weakest percent. I think he does the most percent. I think no, he doesn't do the most percent. Yeah, so he's gonna do 4%. I think it might vary depending on how far they are. Let's see. Nope. So it looks like the guy with the shotgun, he's always gonna do 7%. This guy's always gonna do 4%. Hold up. This guy's always gonna do 6%. And this guy right here is always going to do 5%. So yeah, you definitely want to be mindful of that. And I think your timing is different as well. He definitely will take a little bit more longer to throw out his attack. And this guy, I think, yeah, I think they actually have like the same amount of timing. I don't know if it varies. I think it only varies when you start putting custom moves into play. But yeah, I think they have the same kind of timing, just vary in different attacks and shit. So, and I think the range might differ as well. So let's see. If I summon this guy right here, all right. So he still hits at 4% right there. Let's summon this guy. Yeah, so he won't hit Mario. It looks like his range definitely will vary. This guy does 4%. So it looks like there's two wild men that actually hit at 4%. So hold on, let's hit this can away. Don't want to deal with the can. And let's see, this guy right here, 4%. Just trying to see when like their moves will stop hitting. So sheriff, let's see when the sheriff starts going. Also, one thing you got to be mindful of is you can actually summon your sheriff guys in the air, and they'll actually drop a little bit. So if you're seeing your opponent like to do like drop down low, what I like to do sometimes is drop my sheriff down and actually let them fall down and do some attacks. So that's really cool right there. You actually want to drop it. So yeah, 7% all around. That's pretty much it for the Wild Gunman. So that's pretty much all it for Duck Hunt Dog. Really nice character, nice throws, nice aerials. I definitely love his up throw into his up air. Really nice move right there. Definitely has a nice killing power with that up air. Definitely recommend throwing that out as much as possible. So that's really nice. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, my niggas. This video once again is all about Duck Hunt Dog's basic moves. Pretty much anytime you see in the lab and you see a number 1 on it, it's pretty much going to be dedicated to the basic moves of that character. The next video that I do in the lab with Duck Hunt Dog will be about tactics, what you can do. I'll go into more setups about what you can do with the Gunman, into the Frisbee, and how to generally move around the stage. So stay tuned for that. And then the third video that you see, if you see a 3 on the video, you're going to see me talking about the custom moves of Duck Hunt Dog. So a little bit wild off because I am going tripping around from character to character, but I will eventually get to everybody on the roster. And then as Sakurai adds more niggas on the roster, I'll continue to do more in the lab. So this nigga, we about to get certified. We about to get our doctorates in the lab right now. We got our nose in the books. So next time, my niggas, we'll be in the same exact place, whipping up in the lab, making sure the police don't catch me as I'm whipping up these combos. And we gonna be in this shit. So alright, niggas, until next time, I'll see y'all niggas later. You feel me, nigga? Let's go.